Hello guys, Art-Teeves here. This is the second video in my Robot Gardener 3D workflow series. Today I'll show you the process of unwrapping this character model in 3dsMax and Rizom. The first part is available in the comment section below, while the third part, that will cover the process of texturing, will be available in a few days. Let's get started. Before we start the unwrapping itself, I've added a single plane to the plant's stem. I missed that part in the previous video, so here it is. I won't be using any texturing add-ons, however, I combined the 3dsMax itself and Rizom. Technically, you can straighten all UV chucks in Max and especially Blender, so Rizom is kinda optional, but I like the speed of this workflow. I change all names of new objects and give them a corresponding suffix. I use three types of suffixes: LP for low poly objects that actually get UV unwrapped, ignore for objects that won't participate in process of baking but also get UV unwrapped, and HP for objects that get baked to low poly models. Obviously we don't unwrap high poly objects. Also, we don't want to straighten all UVs here. I go for the resolution of 4K and a padding of 16 for demo purposes, however, switching it to 2K won't change much. We will be using two types of opacity for this model. One is a simple alpha cutout, used to tear the metal of our gardener's skirt and cuffs, while the other one is an actual transparency of glass eyes. We don't want to merge such objects to each other or some non-transparent parts. Obviously, glass shall always come as a separate object for it to render correctly in a game engine. The plant we made before is a simple placeholder used to demonstrate the process of plant creation. It doesn't take much of our UV space anyway. Its stem is a combination of two planes which intersect at a right angle. Its leaves and petals are mere copies of one leaf and one petal, that later get resized, copied, and bent. Obviously, you want your corresponding UV chucks to be big enough, otherwise the contours of your baking will be pretty ugly and distorted. To ensure the optimal detail, we want to enlarge all corresponding UV chucks, meaning our herbalist's eyes, skirt, cuffs, flower leaves, stem, and its middle part, which is not yet there. Before you start working with UVs, it's a wise idea to fix your smoothing groups properly. In most cases, you want to make your low poly objects smooth. The details will be added on baking phase, and turn all of your hard edges into UV seams. This is why I prefer to start by using a flatten by UVs group function. Next, I simply break all cylinders and create remaining seams manually. Using hotkeys and add-ons might increase the speed of this process greatly. You may want to hide your UV seams in some distant places of your model. However, I do quite the opposite, because I want them to be easily accessible in Substance Painter, so I can conceal them by using the stamp tool. I use the 3dsMax to normalize and pack my UV chucks and then go to Rizom. There, I simply straighten all UV chucks except for those that will get too stretched. Finally, I return to 3dsMax and enlarge some chucks that will eventually get the highest detail. I've mentioned them before: the skirt, cuffs, glass eyes, and plant parts. The logic behind defining UV seams is pretty basic here. We want all our hard edges to become UV seams. Finally, I used the UV Packer add-on and set its output resolution to 4K with a padding of 16. This method is not the best and leaves a lot of potential for manual optimization. I think I've told everything I wanted to mention here. I'll leave the rest of the video without cuts in case you guys want to see the whole process, but I won't keep narrating it. If you find my videos useful, be my guest and subscribe to my channel for more stylized content. And most importantly, have a great day!